In order to contribute to reviving Melbourne CBD, our team decided that the best way we can bring people back to the city is to reduce the stress of parking that even just watching this clip induces, by creating an app to help people find available car parks easily. Two key facts drove our project: that a 90% drop in foot traffic contributed to an eye-watering $23.5 billion in reduction to the CBD economy in 2020, that 36% of people say that they get anxious about parking in the CBD, and almost a quarter abandon the intention to journey because of parking stress. The team developing the model to predict parking availability includes Wayne, Christian, Nizam, which is myself, and Naveen. In our research, we identified Conval STM and SSTGNN models as they can predict the parking outcome based on the data already collected by the parking sensors and can deal with both historical time and the distance between available car parks. We also researched an innovative method for this project called the ensemble learning method. It would incorporate multiple models and combine them to obtain a better overall accuracy, reduce noise and bias, and improve sensitivity. Ideally, it would take Conval STM and SSTGNN to develop a near-perfect prediction model for parking occupancy.
The City of Melbourne publishes car park sensor data in their open data platform. This includes a timestamp for each parking bay in and around the CBD area. It consists of arrival and departure time of cars, ID of the bay, duration of the occupancy, and the location of the bay. This data is updated every few minutes and has been collected over a year. The goal we set out to achieve is to make a prediction based on the historical parking occupancy information. The model will determine the closest parking bay from a given location and provide the likelihood of its availability. The spreadsheet shows the time series for each bay and the prediction on the last day. We started by creating a repository and other means to coordinate our project. Then we followed up with data extraction and cleaning to remove noises and irrelevant elements. After extracting, we tried to modify the data to fit our model. For this, we were required to create a distance matrix and a time series matrix, which was split apart by 15 minutes interval. Finally, after the modeling, we intended to use a web application to harness its potential as an end-user product. This project turned out much more complex than we had expected from our initial research. We encountered several issues as listed. First, there was no occupancy data for the cafe, so we changed our approach to predict the availability of the parking bays. Our poor coding skills meant we were unsure of where to start, and the coding took much longer than we had planned. As a result, we greatly improved our coding skills, learning how to deal with time, geolocation, and how to create time matrices. We had expected the data to be in a format we could just download and use. Instead, we had to collect them from several sources within the open data platform. Once they had been downloaded, we had to combine and convert them. There were also inconsistencies in the data. For instance, there are 5,500 bays across Melbourne, but only 4,600 were observed. The locations were provided as polygons, which are a set of 5 longitude and latitude pairs. We learned how Python deals with shapes as point and multipoint, and had to discover how to convert these polygons to a single pair coordinates called centroids. So we have individual locations for our models to use. Time was recorded in terms of arrival and departure for each bay, and there is a lack of continuity in them for this to be considered as a time series. So we converted them into Unix time format to create a series from it. Having a plan alone wasn't enough to complete our project, since we lacked both in time and coding skills. We feel it would have been a great tool to revitalize the City of Melbourne by bringing people back to the CBD. To assist the next team who might undertake this project, we suggest the items shown on the screen. We would love to see the project completed and suggest a joint project between the City of Melbourne and Swinburne University to carry this forward.